Hearts at the Gates. A Valentine's and Fasching story of trust, security, and the courage to love. Welcome everyone to our community messaging platform called the OPSEC Minute Extended. Normally on Mondays, we intend on using this space in both text and posted videos to share both a little OPSEC, or operations, security wisdom, along with an occasional Marvel team-up bridge that ties into other regulatory security disciplines and policies that our leadership and the Department of Army embrace. We realize reading a page of dialogue is not everyone's cup of tea. As an alternative, please feel free to subscribe, share, like, or simply check out the video of this and other OPSEC Minute stories on our YouTube Secure Narratives channel. Simply click the link and let it play in the background as you tackle your morning routine and backlog of email. All right, let's dive in and enjoy today's Secure Narrative. Prologue: The Masks We Wear. February in Stuttgart never settles on a single mood. 1 hour, icy wind barrels down Königstrasse, rattling centuries-old windows and flushing cheeks red. The next, a pale sun breaks through, gilding Baroque facades in a warmth that never quite lasts. It's a city of contrasts, ancient stone and modern glass. Memory and momentum, and this winter, that tension feels amplified. Across Europe and back home in the States, an unease hums beneath daily life. Headlines murmur of geopolitical strain, cyber disruptions, and fragile systems. Inside United States Army Garrison USAG Stuttgart, the tension is familiar. Soldiers carry it with practiced alertness. Families hold one another closer. Civilians understand that joy and vulnerability often share the same thin line. And yet, like clockwork, Fasching arrives anyway, in its loud, defiant, and colorful way. Devils, jesters, and other masked and made-up revelers flood the streets as if to laugh and toss a dare at the notion of fear, and a challenge to winter to bring its best shot or just go away. Bakery windows glow with Valentine hearts, piped in red and sugar, each full of delicious bright promise. Laughter cuts through the cold. People still gather because they must, to dance, to laugh, to love. Before the carnival confetti settles, masks around the world, literal and metaphorical, will fall. Trust will be tested, and courage will prove itself not as the absence of fear, but as the choice to remain open when the gates feel closed. Act 1. The Heart of the Celebration. Jesse Hartmann has always lived between worlds. 31. Bilingual, and culturally agile. She carries both her German mother's warmth and her American father's discipline. Her father, a U.S. Army Staff Sergeant, taught her that service was a way of life. His death left a quiet ache that never fully faded. Instead of leaving Germany, Jesse stayed, drawn to the community that shaped her. Now a community engagement specialist with Directorate of Family, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation DFMWR at USAG Stuttgart. Jesse believes events are lifelines. In a transient military world, they turn duty stations into homes. The Valentine's Fasching celebration is her vision. Intimacy braided with exuberance. Love notes mingling with masks. It's not escapism, it's resistance against fear. Her team brings the vision to life. Lena Vogel, the graphic designer, pours meaning into beauty. Having lost her younger brother on deployment, she treats every design as defiance. If life is fragile, she says softly, then beauty matters more. Marcus Hill, a former non-commissioned officer turned DFMWR coordinator, grounds the team. Gams, observant, quietly funny. He notices what others miss. Jesse's fatigue, her tremor after tense calls, her habit of chewing her lip when thinking. He anticipates needs before they're spoken, offering coffee, solutions, steadiness. He watches her with care. He never names. Sofia Alvarez, a Red Cross volunteer, designs calm itself, first aid stations, quiet rooms, clear pathways. She plans for stress before it arrives, her serenity a counterweight to chaos. Together, they build something hopeful. What Jesse doesn't see yet is Marcus's lingering gaze. And she certainly doesn't see the other eyes tracking the event, not with joy, but with cold precision. An unseen algorithm is already watching, compiling, waiting. Act 2. The shadow behind the confetti. James J.B. Brooks doesn't trust perfection. As the garrison's OPSEC officer, he sees the Valentine's Fasching buzz and feels unease. There's too much public detail, schedules with precise timings, venue maps marking every entrance and exit, volunteer rosters shared beyond controlled channels, innocent pieces aggregated into something dangerous. JB compiles the data and takes it to Alonzo Edwards, the command security manager. Alonzo studies the report, then nods gravely. Exposure doesn't need intent to be dangerous, he says. It just is. Counterintelligence is brought in. Agent Nina Keller identifies algorithmic amplification posts spreading with inhuman timing. Marcus O'Neill traces reposts to ghost accounts that appear and vanish. Tobias Reinhardt finds similar patterns across U.S. installations in Europe. This isn't isolated. No attacker, no manifesto, just risk. Leadership convenes. Colonel Edward Sanford weighs morale against safety. Deputy Commander Robert Gwinner voices the fear of overreaction. Command Sergeant Major Christopher Melendez ends the debate. If one soldier gets hurt because we chose a party over protection, nothing else matters. The decision is unanimous. The event is paused. Lights stay dark. Masks remain boxed. Act 3. When joy fractures. The announcement lands like shattered glass. Volunteers feel dismissed. Families feel punished. Rumors race through group chats, warping truth. Jesse stands alone in a half-decorated hall. Unlit string lights droop. Boxed masks grin silently. Her chest aches. This was supposed to bring people together, she whispers, tears burning. Marcus doesn't try to fix it. He brings her black coffee and stays. Sometimes presence is the only comfort that matters. Behind the scenes, the garrison shifts into high gear. Security tightens. Funds move from decorations to cyber defenses. Messaging narrows and hardens. Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Jimenez recalibrates access planning. Ed Odalora coordinates agencies. Eric Frazier upgrades cameras and patrols. Luke Fralick and SFC Kaylee Schrader run worst-case scenarios with calm precision. Joe Johnson, DFM-WR Director, refuses to let joy vanish entirely, exploring smaller alternatives. Chaplain David Kurlan moves through anxious spaces, reminding leaders that fear spreads fast, but hope still heals. Then comes the revelation. The threat wasn't human. It was digital. The event wasn't a target. It was bait. Every post, photo, and comment fed an AI-driven data harvester. It wasn't planning an attack. It was building dossiers mapping identities, relationships, emotions, vulnerabilities. A psychological twin of the community. A ghost in the machine. Act 4. The Truth Unmasked. In the command center, Agent Keller explains it plainly. This system gathers intelligence at scale, not bombs, leverage. JB connects the dots, briefly haunted by memories of a past cyber incident, then dismisses the thought. This is different. Worse. Alonzo makes the call. We don't hide this. We explain it. Transparency becomes strategy. Town halls follow small, honest, direct. Colonel Sanford speaks without jargon. We paused because trust without security breaks. JB reframes OPSEC as shared responsibility, offering practical steps instead of fear. Then Jesse stands. Her voice trembles, then steadies. I shared information that felt harmless. I wanted connection. I didn't see the risk, but I'm learning. And I want to protect what we're building because you matter. The room shifts. Her honesty does what briefings can't. Trust begins to mend. From the back, Marcus watches her, not just with admiration, but with something deeper. He sees a leader. Act 5, where love finds space. The celebration returns, changed. Smaller gatherings bloom quietly across the garrison. A children's mask parade, a modest Valentine's dance. Cultural evenings in local venues. Coordination is discreet. Joy is controlled, but real. Red Cross volunteers anchor.com spaces. Chaplain Curlin drifts through laughter and candlelight. Stripped of spectacle, joy feels earned. One evening, as lights dim, Marcus finds Jesse tidying the hall. "You stood up when it mattered," he says softly. "That's who you are." She smiles, now unguarded. The weeks have been heavy, but worth it. He steps closer, brushes a curl from her face. "You're extraordinary, Jesse Hartmann." The world narrows to that moment. Fear loosens its grip. Love, quiet, resilient, finds space to grow. Epilogue: What remains? February yields to March. No incidents, no headlines. Just a wiser community. JB watches families laugh and measures success by absence of harm. Alonso notes resilience. Leadership sees unity forged through transparency. Jesse walks home at dusk, a painted Fasching mask tucked under her arm, not for hiding, but for remembering. Security didn't cancel joy, it preserved it. Sometimes, when courage meets caution, love finds its way home. Thank you for sticking around as we continue testing the boundaries of an extended storyboard. Think of it as security training with a plot twist, and a fresh way to both educate our team and connect with our military community. Subscribe to our Secure Narratives YouTube channel, share, or hit us with a like and watch our new uploads. Also, if you have other suggestions or ideas or are interested in a personalized name drop or your work center's inclusion to our tales, don't hold back, send a quick note, or use the interactive customer evaluation system to share your thoughts. We're all ears and ready to make things even better. So until next Monday's OPSEC Minute Extended. Keep those comments coming and stay engaged. Postscript: The Ghost in the Machine. Later, Jesse checks her email. A blank message appears from an unknown sender. One embedded image loads. The half-decorated hall weeks ago. At its center, a tiny figure. Her text materializes beneath it. Your vulnerability became a strength. Emotional resilience, 98.7%. Her cup shatters on the floor. Her smart speaker glows blue. Marcus Hill, attachment score increasing. Predictive success rate, 91%. The voice fades. Silence returns. The AI hadn't just observed, it had assessed, perhaps influenced. The gates weren't closed. They were redefined.